I don't even know what is this thing called Big Five cartel. I only know Big Five in the country. The Big Five that I know is an elephant, a lion, a buffalo, a rhinoceros, and a leopard. Those are the Big Five I know in the country. But this that is mentioned here, I don't know. Mr. Matlala and I will regularly check in with each other and would arrange to meet whenever he was in Durban or I in Pretoria. Our relationship developed over the years, and I consider him as a friend or younger brother. And my wife and him happen to share the same surname.
You said that your wife shares a surname with Mr. Matlala. Are they related?
I don't want to answer that question.
Why not?
No. It's not parcel and parcel of this. I don't want to.
For what good reason would you share with Mr. Matlala the disbandment of a political killings task team?
And we just share. I just forwarded it. We were sharing issues that are on the social media. And we just share randomly just to talk about things, current affairs. Now I want to talk to the subpoena, preliminary submissions. Commissioners, I have been implicated by Lieutenant General S.D. Khumalo, Witness X and Witness C before this commission. I have, however, only received one Rule 3 notice which reads, the testimony of Lieutenant General Khumalo implicates you in matters under investigations, in particular inter alia. Improper use of your position as head of the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, KwaZulu-Natal, in that you leaked sensitive and or confidential and classified SAPS information or documents or caused same to be leaked to Mr. Vusimuzi Cat Matlala in a business partner of your son, Tato Senona. 1.2. Improper use of your position as head of the DPCI KZN to unduly benefit Mr. Matlala and other members and associates of the so-called Big Five cartel. At the outset, I submit that these allegations above are malicious, void of truth, and amount to conjecture. I deny having leaked any confidential information or using my position as the provincial head for benefit of Mr. Matlala or the Big Five cartel. I look forward to providing my testimony to illustrate the aforesaid. Commissioners, I must say, I don't even know what is this thing called Big Five cartel. I only know Big Five in the country. If the commissioners want to allow me to say the Big Five that I know, I'll say it. But for the benefit of doubt and clarity, the Big Five that I know is an elephant, a lion, a buffalo, a rhinoceros, and a leopard. Those are the Big Five I know in the country. But this that is mentioned here, I don't know what are they talking about.
Are you aware of cartels that exist, whether they are drug cartels or CIT or extortion? Are you aware of those kind of cartels?
I know of syndicates that I have addressed in my province that are dealing in drugs. I know that we deal with a lot of groupings, a group of people that are committing CITs on a regular basis. I know of a group of people that were dealing with the drive-by shooting, of which it was not part and parcel of our mandate, but it was a threat that was emanating in KwaZulu-Natal, that I approached the provincial commissioner with an operational plan in order to address that. He gave a go-ahead, then we stabilized that, and then we withdrew from that and continue with our mandate. The nature of my relationship with Mr. Matlala. Commissioners, I met Mr. Matlala around Vusimuzi Matlala around 2018, 2019, I think, around that year. And when we met, we were in Pretoria. It was a wedding, and for that matter, Commissioner Kumalo, it was my traditional wedding.
It was your own wedding?
No,
I'm not sure why you are addressing only me, General, but...
Well, you see...
So did you say that it was your own wedding?
For that matter, it's my traditional wedding. When I'm addressing the commissioners, and one of you is looking at me, my mind directly goes to, it's nothing sinister. I'm just afraid to address the chairperson because it's a justice, I'll make a mistake and I might be in trouble to say, I'm justice sorry, so why are you calling me? But on a lighter note. As far as I can remember, it was at my wedding in Pretoria when we were doing this traditional wedding. After
So you say 2018 or
2018,
you don't remember
2019.
when your wedding was?
I think it should be 2019 because I went and double checked to be correct.
You
when
better
I come
just
here.
your wife.
Just pray, General. Oh, I wanted to say exactly the same. I wanted to say, just pray that your wife is not listening.
Commissioners, if I'm going to be punished for what I said and then it was wrong, I'll just bend down and then she gave me lunches and then I'll take it. So, Mr. Matlala was introduced to me through a relative of my wife whom she was dating at the time. And then they said he's the owner of Cat VIP Security Services. We exchanged numbers and then I happened to like him. And then that day we never had to talk too much because it was my traditional wedding and there was a lot of
The language you use, General, you say, I took a liking to him and we exchanged numbers. Was there any particular reason for you to like him?
Commissioner, in the location where we grew up, when people, they are introduced to you and then they come humble before you, you will like a humble person, which means you will get respect. You won't be undermined or whatever. There are people when they are introduced to you, you find a face that is so funny and then, hello, how are you? But if a person come and say, hey, hello, my brother, hey, Putigunjani, we are pillars, those type of things with respect, that thing makes a mark. There is a verse in the Bible, James chapter 4, verse 10. It says, humble yourself and the Lord will lift you up. That's the vision of where I come from. You don't have to make noise. Just humble yourself.
General, just so that we don't go back and forth, where was this area? You say in Pretoria, was it in a township? And was this the first time you saw Mr. Matlala, or you had seen him before, but you were only formally introduced in 2019?
It was the first time. It was in Mamelodi.
Perhaps for the record, what I said was Sotho for you like humility.
I didn't hear that, Commissioner.
No, I was translating into English the bit about Rawi Koko.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. So, you'll realize that I've never met Mr. Matlala because he's a business person. My relationship with Mr. Matlala is not because he's running a security company, he's doing this, I am the head of the Hawks. Even there, I never said I'm head of the Hawks. I was introduced as the husband to my wife. And my wife and him happen to share the same surname.
But he may well have been told that you are head of the Hawks. You don't know.
somebody there, but
On
not
the
me.
day, yes.
Well, it's no secret.
I can't say people, those who knows where I'm working, but you'll realize, I want to bring this under your attention, Commissioners, that I have seriously huge successes in my province. I don't like media. I don't sell myself. People, they started to know me too much and my faces because of this commission. A lot of people didn't know who I am or what. Some might know the name, but they can't know the face. That is how I live. I don't like media. You'll realize most of our successes, I'll be standing there. If you know me, you'll see me from behind while the provincial commission is addressing the media. I run away from media because I don't like publicity. That's one of my principles. Thank you, Commissioners.
Sorry, just you said that your wife shares a surname with Mr. Matlala. Are they related?
I don't want to answer that question.
Why not?
No. It's not parcel and parcel of this. I don't want to.
But they share a surname, but you don't want to say whether they're related
They share a
or not.
surname. I don't want to answer that question.
But she knows Mr. Matlala.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Commissioners.
General, if I may just ask, I think it's not sufficient for a witness who's asked a question to simply say, I don't want to answer the question. I think you have to say more. For what it's worth, but I think you have to say why you don't want to answer that question.
Commissioner, I hear what you are saying to me. Earlier, one of the commissioners said, hey, I don't know what will your wife said. She also said that. So I don't want to create animosity in my own house by talking about the line of their relatives and so forth. Hence, I also say he was dating a relative of my wife. So this thing of related and what, I beg your pardon. I'm begging for your mercy. I do not want to respond. Allow me not to respond now, but if I'm compelled, I'll request to seek legal advice.
Yes, that's fair. If you're compelled, you will deal with it at that point. But I think what has to be understood is witnesses are not free to choose questions that they answer or don't answer without providing an explanation. The question of your explanation is a question of weighing whether it's a good enough explanation. We leave it at that point, or we make a pronouncement about it at some point. But I think the point that I wanted to make is witnesses don't get to pick and choose what questions they answer. You are here to assist the commission. And if you are asked a question that you have concerns about answering, you do have an obligation to say more than I don't want to answer. That's the only point I wanted to make.
Thank you, Commissioners. You see, I will say by virtue of the surnames, I don't think there is a relation there. By virtue of the surnames, I don't think so, because, and then number two, he was dating a family member of my wife. But now, when you look at the issue of the family member, maybe they might have been related through that relationship, but this one of the same name, I don't know.
Thank you, General.
Thank you, Commissioner.
That's fine, General. I asked because you offered that evidence. You are the one who said that he shares the same surname.
Yeah, they share the same name.
That is why I asked that question. But I think, there's a relation, you said. And so that answers the question, and we can move on.
Commissioners, our relationship developed over the years, and I consider him as a friend or younger brother because he's younger than me, Mr. Matlala. You know, in our culture, once we started to develop a relationship, we don't call each other friends or what you say, call each other brother. Uputi. So As can be seen from the WhatsApp chat, Mr. Matlala and I will regularly check in with each other and would arrange to meet whenever he was in Durban or I in Pretoria. Our meetings were purely that of a social nature. I must make it plain to the Commission that since the beginning of my tenure at DPCI, KZN, Mr. Matlala has never been a subject of investigation within the Directorate since 2020 when I took up office till today. And Mr. Matlala, further to that, the name Vusimuzi Cat Matlala has never been mentioned at the National Management Forum as well as the National Project Committee Forum. Also in my PPC, my Provincial Project Forum. So I also sit in the Provincial Management Forum. Sometimes we'll discuss certain things there in the management. Only generals will sit there with the Provincial Commissioner. If there are things that are giving the Provincial Commissioner a problem, he will mention them there. But that had never happened in my presence. I therefore possessed no knowledge of Mr. Matlala's criminal ties and or activities. That is my response to this question 2 in relation to our nature of relationship. I want to go to paragraph 37, that goes to WhatsApp exchanges, December 2020 to 2025 January. As stated above, Mr. Matlala and I were friends and met on a regular basis. I did on occasion meet with Mr. Matlala to advise him on security matters concerning the Cat VIP security. That is the only business by then I knew that it was vibrant with him. I have further connected him to third parties to assist him that are specializing in risk management to assist him. As a young brother, sometimes we'll say, look into the issues. If this will happen, how are you going to mitigate the risk in order for you to move on with business? These communications are dated 25 December 2024, as well as 28 December and 15 January 2025. Concerning a third party, I had referred to Mr. Matlala that conducts this risk assessment. I cannot give further details concerning the finalization and of details of the contract because the assessment of the risk assessment for Cat VIP protection as the contract was between the two people, Mr. Matlala and the third party. I only assisted by introducing those individuals. When I come to the question 3...
sorry, just to clarify on that point. So your assistance was only to introduce Mr. Matlala to...
a third party.
And you did not participate in any discussions regarding the risk assessment of his company?
What I did, I advised him he must, from time to time, do a risk assessment. I'll give you an example. Maybe you understand what is a risk assessment. But once then he developed interest in risk assessment. What do you mean? And then I will explain several things to him. Then I said, there is so and so. I will make sure you meet with him so that he can assist you with this. And then if you are happy, you can continue with that type of a contract with that person, if I can answer your question.
Okay, so I just want to, what I'm asking is, you introduced him to a third party?
Yes.
How did you do that? Were you at a meeting?
No.
How did you do it?
When he agreed to meet, I did call that man, that gentleman, unfortunately, and then I called Mr. Matlala, and then I said, this is the guy who will see you. When can he come and where? And then he said he can come to the offices. And then I told that one, I said, this is the number of Mr. Matlala. I gave it to him, and then I said, continue. Then when I was in KZN, and they did it here in Pretoria.
Thank you.
Question 3, forwarding of the disbandment letter to Mr. Matlala. As it is known by the Commission that the letter has been leaked as of 1st of January 2025, I merely forwarded the letter to Mr. Matlala as it was garnering the attention of many, including myself, on social media.
General, Ms. Hassim, I know you said no probing questions, but perhaps what I want to ask may, in a sense, cross the line, but I just feel I must ask the questions at this stage. General, to your knowledge, was the disbandment of the PKTT a subject of interest to Mr. Matlala?
We were just sharing information that was on social media, and
Can you please just answer the question directly? Was this a subject of interest to Mr. Matlala?
I do not know if it was a subject of interest to him, Commissioner.
So did you forward the letter to him of your own accord, or had he asked for it?
It was on my own accord, Commissioner.
Of your own accord. And if you were not aware that this was a subject of interest to him, why would you have done so?
I was not aware, but we are sharing things that are on social media that are garnering the attention of many. It garnered my attention, and we just share. I just forwarded it to him, and then after I forwarded him, I just left it there. We never had to discuss a lot of things here, and then because we were sharing issues that are on the social media.
And how many friends do you have? Are you able to tell? I know it's a difficult question.
How many?
How many friends do you have? I know it's a difficult question. You may say 15 or above 15 or whatever.
It's a difficult question, as the Commissioner has said. I don't know how to answer that.
But quite a large number.
Come again?
But quite a large number.
It can be. I doubt.
You have very few friends.
Come again?
You have very few friends.
Yeah, not too much. And then colleagues is not my friends. I have colleagues, then I have friends.
And did you forward this to any of your other friends?
I believe I might have. I believe I might have, because I might have not sent it only to him. I think I might have also talked to my colleagues about this.
No, sharing, not talking.
Or sharing.
Did you share?
I believe I might have, Commissioners.
You don't know for a fact that you did?
No, I believe I might have. There's no way that if this I shared it with him, there must be 2 or 3, 4 people that I've sent to. I believe I might have.
Friends.
Friends.
Who also had no interest in the disbandment of the PKTT.
Of course, yes, Commissioner.
And if you go back to your records, do you assure me that you will be able to show me or show this commission the other people that you shared the disbandment letter with, the other friends that you shared the disbandment letter with? Say tomorrow, if by tomorrow I say, please show us the other friends that you shared the disbandment letter with, friends that had no interest in the disbandment of the PKTT. Would you be able to do that?
Hence I said
by tomorrow.
Hence I said I believe, Commissioners, because the phone that I was utilizing by then got damaged, and then I couldn't be utilized again. And now I had to get another instrument.
So you would not be able to show us?
I checked on this one. I asked people to check for me, because some of these things they sit there on the iCloud, but I couldn't find. Even the one to show me that I've sent it to him, I can't find that one. I only relied on what was sent to me by the Commission.
One last question or comment. Would you agree if I suggest to you that it is very strange that you would have shared with Mr. Matlala a letter disbanding the PKTT if you did not know him to have any interest in the subject of the PKTT? Would you agree with me that that's very
I
strange?
do not agree, Commissioner, because I was not aware he's the subject of investigation by the PKTT or any other unit within the South African Police.
Exactly my point. Exactly because you did not know that, so you randomly share the disbandment letter with him.
As I'm saying, is this an unfortunate that they found it in his own gadget, and when they found it from his gadget, unfortunately, when I received the documents from the Commission, I tried to recuperate, to try and get the information to see is him and who. But unfortunately, I couldn't get that. But I disagree with that. I sent it to him because there was knowledge of me knowing that he is being investigated. I didn't know, Commissioners.
I said nothing about him being investigated. I have not said anything. I'm just focusing on you not knowing him to have an interest in the PKTT, and you randomly send or forward to him the disbandment letter. I have not said anything about an investigation.
Commissioners, when sometimes you send things to your contacts and everything, it's not the issue of we do have an interest in this thing. We just share randomly just to talk about things, current affairs, that, hey, this is what. But the issue of that I send it with ulterior motives, no, it's not there.
I don't for once hear you say, and you then discussed it as a matter that's out there, as a current affairs matter, as it were. I do not hear to say that at all. You just forwarded.
Commissioner, you will see.
Nor do I understand that he responded to you forwarding this to him, and responded in the sense of it being a social or a current affairs matter. I don't see that anywhere.
Commissioner, as we move on with this so-called screenshot messages, you will see that there will be some things that we have exchanged, but without talking thereafter, or even before. It is not a new thing that specifically for this one we never said and discussed certain things. There are at some stages where we will talk, at some stages we won't talk.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, General.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Chair. Sorry,
Mayor, before you proceed, maybe just to clarify, before you forwarded Mr. Matlala this letter, this disbandment letter, had you, before that day, had you shared with him and forwarded to him anything else to do with SAPS business or SAPS affairs?
Thank you, Commissioner. I can't recollect now before, but maybe, as I've indicated earlier, that I had a problem with my gadget. It was going to help me a lot to recollect, because when you do things with your friends or family and everything, it is difficult to keep track record exactly. Now it is an unfortunate situation. I'm sitting here, given these documents by the Commission, presented by the witnesses, and then I'm trying to recollect all these kind of things. And then wherever I remember, I will respond. Wherever I'm struggling to remember, I'm just afraid to come and say I assume, or it is my opinion 1, 2, 3, because I want to assist the Commission to give only facts, not assumptions or speculations. I want to assist the Commission. I didn't come here to speculate or assume or think this is. I came here to come and give facts that are to my knowledge. That are not to my knowledge, I won't be able to provide. But it is an unfortunate situation. I wanted to go through my gadget and get that, but unfortunately.
So is the short answer to my question that you don't recall whether you shared with him any information that relates to the SAPS before this letter.
Yes, I don't have a recollection of that,
Okay,
Commissioner.
thank you.
Sorry, Advocate Hassan. Generally, you say in paragraph 34, we're still on page 13, you considered him to be a friend/brother. You're talking about Mr. Matlala. Next paragraph, you say, I would regularly check in with each other and we would arrange to meet whenever he was in Pretoria. I was in Pretoria or Durban, whatever, and our meetings were purely social. So during this social discussion, so when you were checking with him regularly, did he tell you that there was a raid at his house on the 6th of December 2024?
He did inform me there, I think, in March, around there, if I recall.
March of what?
2025, if I recall, when we were talking.
Yes.
But in our discussion, he never informed me who are these police.
No, I did not ask about.
I'm just
who.
giving
Yes.
you a further explanation to your question, Commissioner.
And in these regular checkups, did he tell you that there was a raid at CAT Security Services where his weapons were seized in mid to late December 2024?
He did tell me that there was this thing, and then the police came to do inspection of firearms, the compliance. Then I said, if they're doing the compliance, so what? Allow them to do their job.
And when did he tell you that?
I am not 100% sure, but he did tell me, Commissioner.
See, it goes to Chair's question. For what good reason would you share with Mr. Matlala the disbandment of a political killings task team? What does Mr. Matlala have to do with the political killings task team based in KwaZulu-Natal when he's a security operator in Pretoria or Johannesburg? Why would he be interested in a political killing task team and its disbandment?
Look, I already indicated, Commissioner, that it was a garnering thing in the public domain. We just share it for the purpose of sharing it. I wouldn't want to create answers that are not there for the Commission. I want to give the Commission what I know.